Um, hello, hello. What I'm doing here is giving you a quick review on lesson planning. This is the lesson we did last week. The first thing you need to remember is that instruction or teaching requires preparation and planning. You don't just go and teach. You need to do some planning. You need a plan. And before you understand anything, before we look at anything, we have to understand the steps, the three steps in or three uh, parts in educational cycle, what called instructional cycle, namely the OLE model. O stand for objectives, L is learning, and E is evaluation. This is similar to the PDCA or plan, do, check, action. As you can see here, OLE model start off with objectives. You need to set up the objectives, and then you provide or create the learning experiences for the student, and then you do the evaluation. This is my cat. Okay. Could you go and somewhere else first? Um. Right. Um. What we call the components of educational process, OLE, O objective, L learning experiences, and E evaluation. So let's move on to lesson plan. So lesson planning is part of the first letter O. Now, a lesson plan is nothing but a plan of your teaching. You need the topic. Now, what the topic of your teaching? Like for example, you're gonna teach about shopping. Objectives. What are the objectives? Behavior objectives, materials or instructional material like the media, like you're gonna use handouts, flashcards, or whatever. And then the presentation stage. Here you need to give a warm up introduction. You tell the students the objectives and the topics of your instruction, and then you will start presenting the contents, and then you do the practice, through activities, and then you do the evaluation, like you can use worksheets and so on and so forth. Now let's go into detail on objective writing. When you write an objective, you have to follow what we call the ABCD model. Okay. Okay, objectives will include four components. Number one, the audience. You need to understand who the audience are. Behavior, what behavior are you going to develop or instill, and the condition of your teaching and the degree of achievement. Objectives must be both observable and measurable in order to be effective. Okay. For example, you can say that by the end of the session, this is the condition, right? The student should be able to use and communicate in English with foreigners in real life with the success rate of 80% or higher. Now you need to set up the degree of achievement like this. Another example with by the end of the session, the students should be able to match the names of the ASEAN members with their flags 80% correctly, or with the degree of achievement of 80%, with the 80% degree of achievement. So these are behavioral words that you can use, like choose, find, how, define, label, show, spell, list, match, name, relate, tell, recall, select, compare, contrast, demonstrate, interpret, explain, extend, illustrate, infer, outline, relate, rephrase, translate, summarize, show, classify, categorize, identify, name, match A and B, spell the words, pronounce the word, answer the question orally, answer the question in writing, ask and answer the question about their favorite color, so on and so forth. You notice that these words are verbs and they are active verbs, which means that we can actually observe. Like for example, you ask them to spell the words, pronounce the words, tell their meaning, construct a sentence using the given words. And importantly, we have to do the mapping, like mapping objective with evaluation. Remember the OLE model, objective, learning environment, learning experience, and the evaluation. In the objective, for example, we write down by the end of the session, the students should be able to match the names of the ASEAN member with their facts with a success rate of 80% or higher. In the evaluation, the student you give the student opportunity to match the names of the ASEAN members with their facts with a success rate of at least 8 out of 10 or 80%. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching. I'll just give you a brief review of objective writing and OLE model.